What's up guys, welcome to another video. Now today we're going to do something a little bit different and something fun because a couple months ago at a horse show in Tulsa I was walking and then I met Jacqueline Zacharias. Did I say right? Yep. Jacqueline Zacharias with Zacharias Horsemanship, and she walked up to me and introduced herself, and she also is a YouTuber and a horse trainer, and we both do two different disciplines. I specialize into reining and she specializes more in the Mustang world and in the ranch riding world, and this is two worlds that are sometimes I think too far apart, that my constant goal is trying to bring both of those industries closer together, because I think that we can definitely help each other out in how we train our horses and selling our horses and just collaborating all together. So instantly after meeting Jacqueline, we really clicked off the bat. I think that her approach with her channel I think is very interesting, and I encourage you to go and check it out. I think her latest video is one of the funniest videos I've seen in a long time, so I'll put the link below and then you should go ahead and check that out. And then we've got Rick here. Rick is from Switzerland and he's going to join us and help us and ride in Starkey here. And so our goal today basically is going to be to evaluate Starkey as a ranch rider. Very often barrel racers, ropers will contact me and see if there's a horse that's maybe not cutting it as a reiner that would be a good barrel racer or a good roper, and that often happens that I do have this type of horse. But now that we are really getting more into the ranch riding and that discipline is really exploding across the Western riding industry, with now having a 3-year-old futurity at the Congress and a 3-year-old futurity at the area Tulsa Reining Classic in August, I'm getting a lot of calls on people saying, hey, do you have a nice horse that's maybe not quite cutting it as a reining or retiring from reining that would work as a ranch rider? And so Starkey is a horse that I think would probably cut it as a very good reiner with another 1.5 years of training, but he lost time as a 2-year-old. He's getting a little bit behind, and maybe he would make a great ranch rider for this year's futurity, being a 3-year-old. And but I have a pretty fair idea how to train a ranch riding horse and what they're after, but I don't really have the experience to really evaluate one to say, yes, this would make a great ranch rider, and also, if so, what do we need to work on? What are our priorities? And that's what I'm counting on Jacqueline to help us out with today. And in exchange for that, Jacqueline is going to quiz me about improving her stopping with her horses, and I think that pretty quickly we're going to find that the ranch riding approach that I think we're going to be looking for on this horse is going to be very similar to the same kind of to the thing I'm going to be explaining about stopping, and I think we're going to see a lot of connections there and a lot of similarities, but I think that it's going to make for a very fun ride and a fun conversation. So if you're ready, we'll get after it. Starkey here is a 3-year-old, and he's actually the full brother to my last year's futurity horse, and that was a pretty good open horse. It was a really nice horse, and so he was very promising as a 2-year-old. He just lost a lot of time due to a surgery we had to do on him, and so as we're getting him started again, I feel we're a little too behind for the reining futurities. So knowing that they're now introducing ranch riding to our reining futurity, such as the Tulsa area reining classic and the Congress, I was thinking, well, maybe he would be a nice one to train for that. But just let's watch him ride a little bit and tell me, what you like about this horse. That I think we've got that going for ourselves, and what do you think, what maybe is missing, or what is just really something he does that is actually really not very attractive or a no-go for ranch riding. Okay, so go ahead, Rick, and take him around a little bit. And so go ahead and tell him what you would like for him to do.
So just walk him up there a little bit and let me see his extension at a walk. So one of the surprising maneuvers you can gain a lot of points in is the extended walk. And I really like the way that horse reaches through himself. He really does extend nicely. He doesn't just kind of pitter around and just have these really small steps. Like, I don't see him having to beg that horse to move out. And I really like the way those legs really seem to move pretty freely.
I agree. I agree. It looks like you know, it looks like he could walk in the pen and have that X factor,
Have that presence there, yeah.
off the bat.
Exactly.
Okay? And then so what is the next thing you would want to see him do?
So for me, when I watch the ranch riding horses, the extended trot is also another big component. Both of those extended gaits there, the extended walk, I really like that. That's a beautiful extended walk right there. That's nice. And I mean, it could be improved on, but that horse shows right there that he already has potential to get it done. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Where sometimes a horse maybe like this one a little bit more. I'm not saying he couldn't, like you can push horses like this out, but when they already have it just like that, without having to beg them, that's a really good sign.
So what do you do with, let's say, as a exercises or with your legs, just to encourage that extended walk or improve that extended walk? Is there any exercises or is there any leg cues in particular?
So for me, and this is just personal preference, this is the way I like to do it, is that I like to just barely bump with my legs, but I ride a lot more with my seat. So I put a lot more energy through the seat, as I'm sure you know, and just encourage that horse to walk up there. And as soon as I feel that extension start to happen, they put just a little bit more effort in stepping that walk up, then I release. You know, you can feel that moment right before they break into a trot, and they give you a couple steps there, and then you let them go back to a normal walk, and you just kind of let them relax. And some people go ahead and bring them back to a stop, let them stand a few moments, and then they push them right back up to almost to that breaking point where they just about go into a trot, and then they stop them again. Does that make sense?
Yeah, very interesting. Looks like Rick's got that seat motion there already.
Yeah,
I think he's helping that horse reaching forward pretty good.
Exactly.
And we saw him trot off a little bit there, so you can tell he was tickling that line there you're talking about.
Exactly. But that horse looks really good in that area.
So so now let's take a look at his extended jog. So is there how much importance do you allocate to the transition from the walk to the trot? Should we go to a normal trot and then extend it, or go straight into an extended trot?
So the really interesting thing about ranch riding is that they'll throw different transitions in there at different points. There's no set pattern that normally follows. So yes, like at AQHA World last time I was there, then it was walk to an extended trot. So obviously you can prep your horse and give him a little bit at a time in there, but that horse has to know how to get up and go straight from a walk to an extended trot, which is really cool. I think it's really shows off how broke your horse is. But sometimes you will have that slow jog and then extended trot. When I'm training it, as you probably know, I definitely go to slow jog first, make sure that horse is reading me, and then push him up to the extended trot and just let him ease up on in there. I don't just get into that extended trot and then start kicking them and expect them to take it immediately. I want them to ease into there until they're so sure of how to make that transition back down. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because if their mind is wired just to take that extended trot, you're going to have so many problems when you try to go back to the slow jog.
Okay. Rick, let us see him trot, okay?
That's
so just
nice.
maybe get him to a nice trot, and then once you've got your nice trot going, try to extend that trot. Do you want him to post trot it or just stand up?
Either one. So what it comes down to for me, I personally like to post because I think that looks more natural, but certain horses look better if you stand, stand.
Okay.
So I don't tell people what to do there.
So he's a little faster there than we would like. There we go.
Yep. And that's very normal. Very normal to see them break there.
Yeah.
So he's definitely showing potential to where he doesn't look like you're pushing him the whole time, pushing a chain,
Right. What do you do about headset? This is a horse that likes to carry his head pretty flat or pretty low, actually. What do you do about that, or what do you like about? I mean, like this is probably too low right there.
Yes.
So would you lift him up? What do you do with that?
So I do, honestly. I lift him up. If I have a horse, sometimes these reining horses are bred and they're bred to carry their head really low. Just like a warm blood, I wouldn't force them to carry their head down on the ground. I'm not going to force a reiner to carry their head way up. And sometimes that will hurt them in the ranch riding. But I do think that horse could definitely have his head picked up and get a little bit more level. And as you know, when we bring greener horses into the show pen, they often come up by themselves.
Right.
So if you have a horse right about, see that's nice. But if you have a horse right about there, sometimes when they come in that show pen, it'll come up to level, maybe a little bit above, and I won't even correct him for it. I'll just kind of keep him between my hands and legs. And that's nice right there. That's beautiful.
So as far as trot goes, looks like we we have a
it
horse that
definitely
can
has,
do
yes,
it. We can teach him right.
Absolutely. It's very free and it doesn't look choppy, you know. And also, one thing that I love is when a horse has just enough knee action that he doesn't look like he's dragging his toes the whole time, you know.
Yes, okay, I got you.
Because some horses can really throw out a big extended trot, but it's just not that attractive. And that one picks up his feet enough to where
It's kind of lazy, maybe.
Yeah. It's just like straight legged or just kind of.
I got you.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
So, so next would be able to transition back to a stop or a walk.
Either one, yeah, or even a slow jog. That's what gets a lot of people, is being able to hit that slow jog, because
What would be the challenge there? What would be the most difficult one of those three? Let's say that we want to, we would want to see if, but something that'll pay better in the pen,
One that's really difficult to nail really well is the Lope to extended trot.
Oh yeah.
Yes, because getting to where they don't fall out of lead or go all the way down to stop or just ignore you completely, because you have to really catch them pretty quickly and drive them back up into a more extended gait. And I don't know where this horse is at in training, or if he's done that, because even the most broke horses, if they haven't played with these transitions a little bit, it might take them a minute to figure out. But definitely that extended trot to slow jog is going to be one that's a little bit more difficult for people to nail as well, because when you can have a really crisp, clean transition, that's going to get you a good score.
Rick, go ahead and lope. That was a nice stop. You can now we would like to see him lope, okay, just like this. And then we would like to see how he would react if you would transition from the lope to the extended trot. So can I say extended trot, or should I say extended jog?
You can say extended trot, that's what we normally call it. It doesn't matter either way.
Okay. I don't want to have the ranch riding experts flooding my comments with
you're wrong.
My terminology.
They might be flooding my comments telling me I'm wrong. I don't know.
Again, as I said, this is a horse that likes to carry his head pretty low. So Rick, in the ranch riding, we would like to keep his head a little bit more flat, not so low. So if he puts it low, just maybe raise his head a little bit, or steer him, make him think about moving.
Another thing that I like about this horse, and I haven't ridden him so I don't know, but it looks like he has enough energy to go out there and make it look like he's not working so hard to get it done.
Yeah, he's not lazy by any means.
But on the flip side, it looks like he would listen, like he rates back pretty well when you ask him to. And sometimes you see these horses that have all the power and athleticism, but then every time you try to get them to tune in and pay attention to those transitions, they're not there. That's nice.
What do you make of that?
Good. It's
not
good.
Too bad for the
That's
first
not
time?
too shabby. That's not too bad at all.
So what are you looking for here? So are you looking for more of a seamless transition to where, like, right off that instant you're like, what just happened kind of thing, like you barely noticed it transitioning?
Absolutely.
Or do you want to see something engage?
Okay, so if that horse's hip does engage and they can kind of just lock the hip a little bit but the front end keeps stepping, that's really cool, but that's not, a lot of horses can't do that without breaking, completely. I'm sure that your reiners do and stuff, but what I mainly see that happens to a lot of people is that they'll try to do those transitions, and it takes them so long to finally get from the extended trot to the jog that their transition doesn't seem to count for a lot. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if you can get it to where you sit down and that horse rates off your seat right away and you can see a change, that makes it so much more obvious to the judge what's happening. You see, and I've made the mistake in the past before and having to pick up on the horse, and the horse slowly comes down, and the transition does get made. It happens, but it's not, visually it's not really pretty. I like that. That's nice. She has glimpses of greatness there. Moments of greatness. I like him. I think he has a lot of potential.
That's very cool. What else do you want him to see do? Is there the turnaround or the backup?
Yes. So the maneuvers that he does as a reiner, he's going to be fine in the ranch riding. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's anything I'd say, oh yeah, I would change this or I would change that. As long as they just stay level and clean. It's like any class you ride in, if you're riding a reining pattern, when you go to slow down or speed up, you don't want the horse to pop up like this. So we just want to see everything stay level and seamless and no resistance there. So I think he'd be great for it.
Well, this was a very, very good experience. I learned a lot from this, and I'm actually very, very tickled to see that Jacqueline likes him, and I'm glad that, you know, my gut instinct was right. So so that's probably what we're going to end up doing with him, and so I'm for sure going to be documenting this journey. So I don't know how frequently I'll be giving you guys updates on his progress, but I promise to include him in the real-time training series that we have going on at the moment, and keep you posted on this journey. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for me to learn this, and for this horse to learn this, and I think he's going to be the perfect partner for me to get into that aspect of our industry. So Jacqueline, that was super entertaining, and it was super educational. Thank you very much for your time on that.
Absolutely, it's fun to watch a good horse, and I loved being here and watching with you, and you know what all the maneuvers are supposed to look like. You're a great horseman, and you know how to nail those transitions and stuff. So stepping over into the ranch riding is probably going to be pretty seamless for you. So I'm excited to see. I mean, I don't really want you to, you know, take over the ranch riding, but I'm excited to see you get in there.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you, Jacqueline. Yes, as most of you know, most of my program, especially the videos that I've got currently uploaded and continue to upload on the Comfort Zone Horse Training video series, are a lot about body control, transition, body cues. You guys know that this is what my program is all about, and this is what I work on the most, is that I want to be connected to my horse as if my horse's four legs were my own. And I think that there's no limit to that amount of connection that you can have with your horse and how well you can have them move. I think the only limit is going to be the horse itself, but then there's always room for improvement. And so, like Jacqueline said, it's always fun to watch or ride a really nice horse. So hopefully this one, you know, will continue to improve the way that he's showing now. And if you want to see some more videos about all of these things, feel free to log in the Comfort Zone Horse Training video series, a 7-day free trial. You can try it out for free. You can watch through everything, no problem. And if it's not something for you, then no regrets. But if that's something that you find any value in, then we continue to post videos as often as we can. And I think it's only uphill from there. So again, thanks you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.